It is 17,000 and such a number. The engine and frame are within 120 of each other, so that's correct for this model. The other numbers on the bike are found on the brake stay. There's numbers on the wheels. There's numbers on the handlebar controls. They're all correct. This is a genuine 1973 bike, and it is very correct in itself. The non-genuine parts, or the non-original I should say, but are still genuine, are the pipes. The pipes are off a 76 model Kawasaki, so though they're correct as far as being original pipes, or genuine pipes, the original pipes on this bike would have had no stampings at all. The seat on the bike is a genuine seat. The problem with the seat being that it is off a Z1900, so it has a different pattern. With this seat, if you don't like the pattern, you don't like the idea of it, I have a repo seat with the correct pattern for this bike, and I'm willing to put that on the bike, and you may have that if you are the winner. I'll keep this seat. It's very comfortable actually. It may be hard to see here with the camera, but the paintwork on this bike is beautiful. Of course, it's 37-year-old. It's never been resprayed, never been restored, this bike. But as you can see from the paint, it is fantastic. There are a couple of slight areas of fade, one being on the tailpiece here. Just on the top it's a little faded, and on the side cover on the other side, just on the top of it, around here, there's a little bit of crazing there. That's because the bike's unrestored, and you know this from a couple of factors. If you look at the tank in the right light, you notice there's a ridge runs down here, straight down the centre of the tank. Either side of the ridge is a slight depression. That's the way they came from the factory. They're meant to look that way, but when you give them to a resprayer, he wants to do the right thing, and he fills both those sections to make it perfectly flat. I have a 75 Z1B, it's been resprayed and it's had that done. This bike hasn't. This is the way they came from the factory. Another way you know a genuine bike, an original bike, is this little lip that runs around here on the tail. When they respray them or redo them, they rub that lip off. They want it to look smooth. Well, that's not right for the bike. The bike came out with that lip, the bike came out with those depressions in the tank, and that's the way they should be. You'll notice here a little bit of the plastic has gone away on the wiring here to the switch blocks. I have the correct tubing for this. I've already bought it. I will be giving it with the person who buys the bike so they can put it on and make it look right. You'll notice the odd, as we go around the bike, there's the odd spot of yellow on it. That's the original markings. It shows that the bike hasn't been fooled with too much. This is a non-genuine part, the soft grip handle grips. Though they feel very nice, they didn't come out with this soft grip. These handle grips were made in Italy. They're a very nice thing to hold. They feel quite comfortable, but they're non-original. The other non-original part here is this plastic rubber boot. The other one was frayed and broken and over the years had gone hard. Couldn't find an original piece, couldn't find a genuine piece, so I had to go repo on that. If I was to ever find one, I'd certainly replace it, if you wouldn't mind. A couple of little spots of rust here. These are the original throttle cables, but they do have a little bit of rusting, as you can see there. There's the odd bolt and nut that has a little bit on it. Nothing major, but there they are. I don't want to tell anyone that it's perfect, and it's not. You'll notice here on the front wheel you have this paint flaking off. It's supposed to be all black, of course, and if you were to restore the bike or semi-restore it without destroying some of its originality, you'd no doubt paint that. At some stage they had a set of bar protectors here, or case protectors on the bike. They were on there when I bought it. So you'll notice that there's a long bolt through here that shouldn't be there. They should be two short ones. And that other bolt over there, it should be a short one also. So they're non-original parts. Once again, a bit of yellow paint on the brakes. As you can see though, it's a very, very lovely bike. The chrome is all very good. The engine is all good, though it has never been repainted. It still looks quite well, though you do notice chips off here and there. Of course, with the paint, it's 37-year-old paint. It's not going to be perfect. You wouldn't expect it to be. The bike does run well. It's beautiful to ride, as you would expect. I noticed once I cleaned it up, a little bit of fading here on the black plastic. Whether you'd replace that or you wouldn't worry about it, it's one of those things. There are the numbers to show that it's all genuine as far as the pipes go, and you'll notice the 76 written there. It comes off a 76 bike, obviously. There is one other non-original part on it. It was the bump stop for the centre stand. You can't see it, but I replaced it. In the course of its life, of course, the back cog is worn out at some stage. The owner, who was the original owner that I bought it off, it's only been a one-owner bike and now in my possession. He obviously replaced it with this carbon fibre type cog. Myself, I'm not a keen fan of it. I'd rather see metal, but obviously he wasn't too worried about it, and probably under advice from the Kawasaki shop. He had all work done on the bike through the Kawasaki shop. He was not mechanically inclined at all. He bought it in 1973, around the middle of the year. The numbers on the bike suggested that's when it was made. And I believe that all to be correct. It still has the chain oil on it, though it has been the pipe that goes down into the little mechanism behind this cover here. There's a rubber pipe that runs down in. It's been disconnected, of course, because the chain is a O-ring chain. It's still all complete. And it's my thought that it would work. Yeah, dear. So there it is. A lovely piece of machinery. One other thing I did notice when I was polishing, this is slightly tarnished over the years. He did have a rack on here. You'll notice on the springs on both the shockeys are rusty. What do you do about that? Do you just buy new ones? You wouldn't go to the trouble of redoing them, surely. Apart from that, the spokes are a little bit ordinary on the back wheel. As you can see, there's the odd spot of rust on the spokes themselves. But when you think this bike is 37 years old, in reality it's held up very well. Every Cracker 9 has this chip out of here. They come down and hit these bolts. That's the problem, and they never sought to fix it over the years they built the bike. They also have a rub mark here where the kickstart will hit. The bike has 19,000 genuine miles on it. I know that because I know the owner. He's not the type of man to lie. As you can see, it's a bit faded on the tacho. A little bit of a rub mark there where he's obviously had something hanging off his key at some stage. All the lights work, they're all good. The chrome is very good on the bike, as is the alloy. Of course, you have the odd mark and knock. There's a little scratch here, there's a couple of little scratches there. The one flaw on the bike that I really would have liked it not to have, you'll notice here this chip on the corner. Very disappointing. It's the only one that's chipped out, but there it is. I have to alert you to that. You need to know what you're bidding on when you look at this bike on eBay. There's not a lot more I can tell you about it off the top of my head. If you want more information, you're welcome to ring or email and ask me any questions you want. The front spokes seem a lot better than the back ones. You have the identification plate there. There's still the standard original headlight. You can tell that from the shape of the thing. These are all genuine, all Stanley lights on it, just the way it should be. The mirrors are all genuine. Like I say, there's not a lot about the bike that's not original. There's only the odd thing, and I guess you've got to expect that with the age of the bike. But all in all, I think it's a beautiful bike. I hope you do too. And I hope you enjoy bidding on it. And I thank you for your time, for watching the video. Bye.